Good morning, Ronto. This is Double Radio with your host, Conrad Getz. I've got some special guests on the broadcast today, but they need some time to settle in here at the station, so I figured I'd just jump to the local news first, if that's okay. A recent chat with some folks in the local independent government has yielded a bit of gossip regarding the path tunnels that used to connect some of the business district. Apparently, there are some blocked-off routes that, according to older maps, should have housed some pretty big stretches of shops or residences or something else down there. But as far as anyone can find, it's all walls and no way to find out what was supposed to be there. This has led to a few different rumors, including talk that there was once a vault being built that might have never gotten finished, so it's just stayed cut off from everything all this time. I wouldn't know myself, since my own home vault was never really finished in the intended way, so if there are other ones around the area, I really wouldn't know about them. We barely had much communication with other vaults at all, and whatever we did here was short at best and cut off rather abruptly at the worst of times. So there's a non-zero chance that there might be some other vaults in the city, which could make for some interesting exploring. There's also been talk recently of some suspicious goings-on near the Bellwoods crater. No one has been able to tell a clear story of if it's some of Queenie's band of raiders, or if it's perhaps some ghoul activity, or some other sort of mutations from the radiation that soaked into that hole in the ground. But something has been going on, that's for sure. A few disappearances of local wastelanders and travelers would normally not attract this much attention, but when a Brotherhood paladin seemingly vanishes along with a well-armed CPF soldier, both having been seen patrolling the area, then we all start looking at the crater as a suspiciously dangerous spot. Unfortunately, there aren't a lot of folks with radiation suits that are willing to go in and check it out, so we're all kind of in the dark on what might have happened for now. As an addition to this story, I have sent messages to the CPF and Brotherhood to see if either of them would know anything or care to comment, either on air or through a recorded message of some kind, but haven't really heard anything back from that. I'm thinking of having a chat with Jasper over at the Evergreen Echo to see what they do about getting comments from folks on any news they've reported in the past, since they always seem to get those exclusive interviews somehow. I've also got an update to the reports of weirdness going on at the ROM. Well, less of an update and more confirmation of theories regarding what's in there. Turns out a group of feral ghouls has taken up residence amongst those old dino bones, and within that group is at least one or two glowing ones. Unfortunately, this news does come with a bit of a warning to anyone who would seek to pillage the museum, directly from Mayor Layton. Folks are warned to not try and clear out the feral ghouls due to the risk of damage to the historical relics in there. The mayor's office is working on putting together a team of trained individuals to get inside and either relocate or dispatch the ghouls without risking anything inside, but that process is also very slow going, since the ideal candidate pool needs to distinctly avoid having either CPF or Brotherhood members in it, just to avoid any territory conflicts coming up. Alright, with that news out of the way for now, I've got some special guests here in the station today. First up is one that won't be able to do much talking, but she does have a purr like no one's business. The cute little cat I found here. I had to really do some digging around and ended up picking up some meat scraps from a trader to eventually coax my furry friend out of hiding. But eventually, I was able to gain the trust of this adorable little feline, and I've started working on a cute little kitty corner here for her. I've managed to fix up a small bed, some scratching post kind of stuff, and even managed to scavenge some tins of old cat food that still seem surprisingly good. The next step is coming up with a proper name for my new friend. I mean, I'm leaning towards Squeak, since she has a bit of a squeaky little meow, but Hunter also tossed out the idea of naming her Notch, since she has a small notch in her left ear. I kind of like both, so I'll leave it up to a vote. I'll post a scrap of paper up on the bounty board in Eaton Central, and you can all vote which one you like more. Whichever wins, I'll get marked on a small collar and tag for her. As for our other special guest, well, I'll let him actually talk a bit, since he can, but welcome to the station, Wayne, the custom Mr. Handy Hunter's been working on these past few weeks.
Hello, sir.
about what you are and what you'll be doing here at the station. I'm sure they're curious to know after me doing so much talking about your construction.
Well, I am a Mr. Handy unit, with some slight modifications courtesy of a Mr. Hunter. My main functions are to assist in daily tasks around your radio station, and tend to any other duties you require. However, I am incapable of certain originally manufactured functions due to the replacement of my main shell with certain Robco parts, not normally licensed to be used with my original components. As such, my range of vision has been altered, rendering my previous combat capabilities limited, along with some smaller functions. But I am happy to serve you in whatever you need done, Mr. Getz.
Oh, you can call me Conrad, Wayne. Mr. Getz feels way too formal for out here in the wasteland.
Duly noted, Conrad. Is there anything I can assist you with for your current broadcast? A spot of tea or coffee, perhaps?
Actually, Wayne, we're all out of anything like that at the moment. I need to go trade or scavenge for some more. But I do think I have some Nuka-Colas in the kitchen area. If you could get me one while I sign off, and then we'll sort out some routines that fit with your programming.
Oh, thank you, sir. I'll be right back with that beverage for you in a jiffy.
Well, there you have it, Ronto. You might hear Wayne here and there as he helps out around the station with various stuff, which is bound to be a lot of fun since he can still do a lot of things I can't as a human. It'll also be nice to have someone else around. I'm still working on convincing Hunter to set up in one of the offices here since there's a bunch of those I haven't really cleaned out yet. And who knows who else might swing by. I'm sure with Wayne's help I can make this radio station into kind of a proper home. Anyways, that's it for today's broadcast, Ronto. This has been Conrad Getz for Double Double Radio, signing off.
Sir, I've gathered a selection of Nuka-Cola beverages for you since you didn't specify a flavor.
Double Double Radio, A Fallout Story, is a Voice in the Static production, written, starring, and produced by Edward Grimgrinner Hutchinson. You can find Double Double Radio on Instagram, Facebook, and other social media sites, and there's a merch store through Etsy. Links are in the episode description. Double Double Radio is also made possible with the love and support of listeners and Wastelanders like you. If you want to help support the show on Patreon, that link will also be in the description alongside the list of monthly supporters. Thanks for listening.